Start creating. Let's talk about the art of creating consistently while I paint Convict Lake. I know you've probably had that thought before, the thought of painting, of creating something, of making art. And I know that there are probably 100 reasons why you haven't started yet. Maybe you don't have the right supplies. Maybe you think you're not talented enough. Maybe you're worried you'll be bad at it. Whatever the reason is, let me convince you why you should start anyway. I've been painting for as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, I painted the exact same picture over and over again, every single time. A mountain, a sun peeking through the mountains, the river flowing down, a little house, a tree beside it, and two birds in the sky. That was my masterpiece. I painted it with whatever I had. Sometimes it was poster colors, sometimes oil pastels, sometimes sketch pens, watercolors, or even a pencil. The painting never changed, but something else did. Every time I painted it, it became a little easier. My lines became sturdier, my details became better, and without realizing it, I was improving. One day though, I got tired of painting the same mountains. I wanted to paint something different. I wasn't having a great day, and I came across this picture of a girl sewing her heart back together, and for some reason it resonated with me. I only had oil pastels and I had never really painted with them before, but I decided to give it a try anyway. I poured everything I was feeling into that artwork, and looking back, that was the beginning. One painting led to another, then another, then another. And for years, I thought painting was just a hobby. And then COVID happened. During quarantine, I picked up calligraphy because I wanted another creative outlet. I wanted to practice both painting and calligraphy every day. To make myself accountable, I opened an art account on Instagram. I had absolutely zero expectations, and honestly, I thought receiving 1,000 followers would be a great achievement. And in those initial days, one of my best friends told me, one day you're going to have a huge audience. I remembered laughing at her. What are you even talking about? I said. This is just a hobby. I hadn't taken a single art class. I didn't have a degree in art. I wasn't professionally trained. To me, I was just someone who loved creating. How could I ever be a successful artist? But she saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. She saw the potential before I did. And every time I think about those days, I always remember that conversation. It makes me smile, not because she was right about the audience, but because she believed in me when I didn't fully believe in myself. Sometimes all it takes is one person seeing something special in you before you're able to see it for yourself. And looking back now, I'm so grateful that she did. So I started posting every day. I followed artists whose work I admired. I watched them paint. I studied their techniques. I practiced their brush strokes. I experimented with different mediums and taught myself everything I could. And somewhere along the way, I developed another hobby, collecting art supplies. At that time, I was working a full-time job. I had my own income and nobody telling me not to buy things. So every time I saw an artist using a new supply, I bought it. Acrylic paints, markers, brushes, pastels, pens, texture mediums, you name it. Did buying those supplies make me a better artist? Maybe a little, but honestly, not really. Did it make me happy? Absolutely. There was something exciting about using the same materials as an artist I looked up to. But here's the funny part. Some of those supplies I bought years ago are still sitting untouched in a cupboard. In fact, that's probably true about 90% of what I purchased back then. And that's why whenever someone tells me they want to start making art and asks me what supplies they need, my answer is always the same. Anything. Use whatever you already have. A pencil is enough. A pen is enough. A notebook is enough. You don't need expensive art supplies to become an artist. And if you're curious about new medium, buy the beginner version first. Don't immediately buy the expensive professional grade supplies. Art is full of trial and error. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to waste materials. You're going to create things you don't love. That's part of the learning. And honestly, if I could go back in time, I would tell my younger self not to buy most of the supplies I bought. But I can't tell her that now, but I can tell you. Start with less. Create more. At that point, I had maybe like 200 followers online. I was trying everything, every style, every medium, every trend. Whenever I saw a piece of art I loved, I recreated it. I always credited the original artist because I wasn't trying to claim it as my own. I was simply learning. And that process taught me so much. Eventually, I stopped copying exactly what I saw and started adding my own ideas, my own colors, my own compositions, and my own perspective. Many of those artists became people I still admire today and even became friends. Looking back, I felt I was growing alongside of them. And despite all that, there was one thing that bothered me. I didn't have a style yet. Every day I painted something different. Every week I tried a different medium. I kept wondering when I'd finally find something that I could call my own. Maybe I still haven't figured out that yet, but one thing never changed. I kept creating. Then one day I decided to challenge myself and learn textured art. It was supposed to be an anniversary gift to my parents, and honestly, it was terrible. I wasted so much acrylic paint because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. But my parents loved it no matter what. I didn't. But it sparked something in me. I became curious. I wanted to understand it. I wanted to get better. So for the next 6 months, I practiced it every single day. And then one day it happened. I painted the perfect petal. Exact petal I had been trying to create for months. That tiny moment felt like a huge victory to me. And that was the real beginning of my texture art journey. As I improved, my audience started growing too. People constantly asked me what paints I used, what texture paste I used, what supplies I used. But the truth was always the same. It wasn't the supplies, it was the practice. I was using the same materials I had struggled for months earlier. The difference wasn't the paint, the difference was the skill. Eventually, I noticed another problem. The texture mediums I bought weren't holding their shape the way I wanted them to. So I started experimenting again, testing, failing, trying again and again. And eventually, I created my own texture medium that retained its shape even after drying. That changed everything to me, and it changed how I painted. It started my process, and most importantly, it made creating art even more enjoyable. Around this time, my audience had grown over 100k subscribers on YouTube and around 7,000 followers on Instagram. I was earning money from my art, and I got married, moved across country, and then pursued art as my full-time job, my dream job. That literally sounded like a dream, right? But it was also one of the hardest periods of my life. The income wasn't consistent, the pressure was overwhelming. Some days I struggled to stay motivated, and I hated my work. I questioned my style, and some of the comments I received online were incredibly brutal. That affected me more than I expected. For a while, creating became really difficult, but I kept showing up. Not perfectly, not consistently at all, but I kept showing up. Then one day, everything changed. One of my videos reached like 23 million views on Instagram, and it completely changed my life. I gained over 70,000 followers from a single video. And most importantly, it gave me something I desperately needed at that time: hope. It reminded me why I started creating in the first place. Around then, I was traveling a lot. Every time I saw a beautiful sunset, I photographed it. I became obsessed with colors. The pinks, the oranges, the purples, the blues. I started using those exact colors in my textured backgrounds and paintings. And then slowly, without forcing it, my style began to emerge. Over time, my landscape became more realistic while still keeping the texture and details that truly felt mine. And after all these years, I still get asked the same question: what art supplies do you use? And every time I try to answer as honestly as possible, the supplies are not the secret, the skill is. Having the same materials as someone else will never give you the years of practice behind their work. But that's actually good news because it means you can start today with whatever you already have. And if you keep creating, you'll improve faster than you think. The world already has millions of artists, but it still doesn't have your art. It doesn't have your ideas, your perspective, your creativity, your stories. So, if you're still been waiting for a sign to start painting, this is it. Start with a pencil, start with cheap supplies, start with messy sketches, start badly. Just start. Because no art supply in the world will ever replace one thing that truly matters: creating. Looking back, I think that's how creativity works. We often think we need to create something extraordinary from the beginning. We want every piece to be unique, impressive, and worthy of sharing. But creativity doesn't grow through masterpieces, it grows through repetition. Every artist has drawn the same thing hundreds of times. Every musician has played the same notes over and over. Every writer has written pages nobody will ever read. The magic isn't in doing something new every day. The magic is in showing up every day. Those little mountains I painted as a kid taught me more than any art class ever could. They taught me that improvement hides in repetition. I think many people are afraid of being influenced by others, but every artist starts there. Nobody begins with a unique style. Before you find your own voice, you borrow pieces of voices you admire. You learn, you experiment, and you imitate. And then one day, almost even without noticing, all those influences blend together into something that feels like you. Your style isn't something you find, it's something you build. I spent years believing I needed to find my thing, the style that would make people recognize my work instantly, the niche that would make me stand out. And now I think I was asking the wrong question. Instead of asking what should my style be, I should be asking what do I enjoy creating. Because styles change, interests change, skills change, but curiosity is what keeps you creating for years. Most people quit right before things start to make sense. Not because they are incapable, but because being bad at something feels uncomfortable. We live in a world where we only see the final result. We see the beautiful painting, we don't see the hundreds of failed attempts that came before it. We don't see the canvases that were painted over, the sketches that got thrown away, the days where nothing worked. Every skill has an ugly face, and unfortunately, there is no shortcut around it. You have to go through it. If there is one thing I've learned from creating art is that the art of creating changes you. Not just your skill, you. It teaches patience, it teaches resilience, it teaches you how to sit with frustration and keep going anyway. It teaches you how to trust yourself. Art has given me so much more than paintings. It has given me confidence, friendships, opportunities, a career, a way of expressing feelings I didn't know how to put into words. And none of that would have happened if I had waited until I felt ready. So, if you're waiting until you're talented enough, stop waiting. If you're waiting until you can afford better art supplies, stop waiting. If you're waiting until you have more time, more space, more confidence, just stop waiting. The truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. Most of us start before we are ready. That's how growth happens. One day you'll look back at the things you're creating today and smile because of how much you have improved. The way I look back at those little mountains I painted as a child. And you'll never get to experience that growth if you never begin. Create badly, create imperfectly, create inconsistently if you have to. Just don't stop creating. Because every artist you admire started exactly where you are right now, with an idea, with a blank page, and the courage to make something. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else's art, it needs yours. So start today. Start before you are ready. Start before you know how. Start before you have the perfect supplies. Start because creating is one of the most beautiful gifts you can give yourself. And years from now, you'll be grateful that you did. And before I end this video, I want to remind myself of something too. By no means am I perfectly consistent. There are weeks when I create every day, and there are weeks when I barely pick up a brush. There are days when I feel inspired, and there are days when creating feels incredibly hard. But one thing has never changed. I've never given up on art, and I never will. Art has become such a big part of who I am today. It's given me purpose, joy, friendships, opportunities, and a way to express myself when words weren't enough. Art isn't just something I do anymore, it's a part of who I am. And while I'm still trying my best to stay consistent, this video is just as much for me as it is for you. It's a reminder of why I started, a reminder that growth takes time, a reminder that every artist begins somewhere, and a reminder that creating is always worth it. So, whenever I feel stuck, uninspired, or doubt myself, I know I can come back to this video and remember why I fell in love with art in the first place. And maybe one day, if you need it, you can come back to it too. I hope this video encourages you to create something today, not tomorrow, not when you have better art supplies, not when you feel more talented. Today, because your creativity deserves a chance to exist. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in another video. I really hope you enjoyed the painting today, and if you're new here, I hope I made your time here worthwhile. If you enjoyed this video, your support would mean the world to me. Consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend who might enjoy listening to this or needs a little encouragement to start creating. I hope my story and art journey inspired you to pick a pencil, a brush, or whatever you have around and create something today. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day and, most importantly, happy creating. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.